The term voice refers to the individual melodic lines. It does not refer to an actual human voice. Each melodic line, or voice, can be written on a separate staff. This is typical when writing for different instruments. Multiple voices can also be written on the same staff. This is typical when writing for keyboard instruments such as piano. In this video, we'll be learning about the various ways in which one voice may move in relation to another voice. When deciding how one voice will move in relation to another voice, there are only 4 choices available to the composer. Here is a chart defining each. Parallel motion is when both pitches ascend or descend by the same interval number. Similar motion is when both pitches ascend or descend by a different interval number. Oblique motion is when one pitch ascends or descends while the other pitch remains the same. And contrary motion is when both pitches move in opposite directions. Since the primary objective of counterpoint is to write independent melodic lines, it will be very beneficial to know which type of motion is best suited for this. Looking at this chart, we can see that contrary motion will create the most independent lines because the motion is the most different. As we move left on the chart, we see that the motion becomes gradually less different and more alike. Parallel motion will therefore create the least independent melodic lines because the motion is the most identical. This degree of melodic line independence can be demonstrated in the following examples. In the first example, we see only parallel motion. Even though there are 2 voices, our ears will perceive this as a single melodic line because the motion is completely identical. In the next example, we see only contrary motion. Our ears will perceive this as 2 separate melodic lines because the motion is very different. Using any one type of motion for a long period of time is not only difficult to write, but it's also very tedious on the ear. Well-written counterpoint must have a variety of motion. Contrary motion will be used the most frequently and will be broken up by the other 3 types of motion. Study the following example and notice how frequently each type of motion occurs.